Right from the time I stepped on the premises, I am energized and surcharged. And why not? Me and Dr. Jagdeep Dhankhar are proud parents of a daughter. Dr. Ashok Gupta, he wears several hats. I share one with him, the Rotary Connect, the four-way test. And in the world of Rotary globally, he is highly acclaimed for his service to humanity. I congratulate him. What he has done in the field of education is remarkable and a satisfying moment for him and others working in this direction. Professor T.N. Mathur, Vice Chancellor, IIS, 4 decades of experience in the Rajasthan University, my alma mater. He brings on the table commitment, directional approach. Nothing happens in the university, any university, without registrar. Registrar and general secretary are equivalent. You have to keep them on the right side always to be on the right track. As chairman Rajya Sabha, when I sit in my chair, on the right side is the government, on the left side is the opposition. Distinguished people in the audience, but I'll salute one, General Amit Mathur, because I happen to be from Sainik School, Chittorgarh. I know there are very distinguished people, but this one connection makes our relationship a little different, and I'm sure others will appreciate. Distinguished members of the faculty and my dear students, because I am here for you today. Dr. Ashok Gupta has chosen a subject that has 3 facets. First is women, related to Viksit Bharat. The second aspect is also equally important, and that is role of women and education. I'll first start with Viksit Bharat. Friends, most do not understand the contours of Viksit Bharat. We are aspiring for a Viksit Bharat at 2047. A great marathon march is on for it. All stakeholders are converging. Already in last few years, we have come to a very high level. We are the 5th largest global economy on the planet. In next 2 years, we will be head of Japan and Germany to be the 3rd. We are the 3rd largest purchasing power in the world. We are most vibrant, functional democracy on the planet. Then what is that Viksit Bharat we are looking for? Globally, Viksit Bharat has not been defined. Viksit nation has not been defined. But you have to read into it through several mechanisms. And one is per capita income. We have to take our per capita income 8-fold to give Bharat the status of a developed nation. And for that, some fundamentals are required. And one fundamental is, do we have the right ecosystem? The first element of ecosystem is hope and possibility. Now we are living in an environment of hope and possibility. There is a mechanism in place where every individual can exploit his or her talent and potential to realize aspirations and dreams. And for that, two things were required. One, equality before law. Equality before law, the provided by the Constitution, had eluded us for long. Some people thought they are more equal than others. Some thought we are beyond the reach of law. We are above law. But a big change that has taken place is that equality before law is now a ground reality. Privileged pedigree, that is special class, that carried an idea, they have immunity from law, are being rendered accountable to law. That's a big change, and a change for young boys and girls. More girls are here. Second is corruption. Any society driven by corruption, driven by greasing of the palm, driven by liaison agents, driven by a system that without corruption you cannot get a job or a contract, is certainly against the rise of the youth. Corruption eats into the talented. Corruption neutralizes meritocracy. A big change has taken place. Power corridors, once infested with corrupt liaison elements, those who extra legally leveraged decision making, who provided contracts and jobs without merit being a consideration, those corridors have been neutralized. You would have seen now that there is transparent, accountable governance in the country. And this has been brought about by technological penetration right up to the villages, where money is transferred without intermediary. 100% reaches the destined person or institution. This big change has taken place. Now, the change having taken place, are our youth still seeking something else? Yes. And that is, they want to be partners, stakeholders, contributors in our journey for Viksit Bharat. And the mechanism is, number one, education. Education is fundamental. Education is most transformative mechanism of change. There can be no change without education. Education has to be quality education. Education has to be purposeful education. Education has to be beyond degree. Pursuit of degrees one after another is not the right approach to education. And that is why after 3 decades, the country came to have national education policy that allows students full exploitation of their talent. They have been distanced from degree-oriented education. It has been focused on skill education, aptitude. Simultaneously, you can pursue courses. by and large, the nation has adopted the national education policy. I appeal to the students, to the states that have not done it, to think about their youth, to think about future of their youth, and adopt this well-evolved national education policy. So education brings about equality. Education cuts into inequities. Education is a great leveler of societal system. Education provides oxygen to democracy. Therefore, education is fundamental. Rightly, education is a component of today's discourse. Now come women education. Women and education. First, women education. For long, we were having a psychological mechanism. घर में बेटा बेटी है तो बेटे को पढ़ाना है. मन में आ गई बेटा ज्यादा प्रतिभाशाली है. बेटी को कहते थे घर में काम कर लो, तुम्हें तो दूसरे घर जाना है. That system has undergone change now. Complete change. अब लड़के लड़की में कोई फर्क नहीं है, और जो फर्क करते हैं, a small category, they are getting marginalized. Therefore, education means education of everyone, including boy and girl. It was said from the dais, and very rightly, education of a boy is educating the boy. Educating a girl is educating a family and beyond. So that is very fundamental, that is taking place. If we look into our Vedas, great emphasis was laid on education and participation of women. We lost the way somewhere in between. But during that period in Vedas, the Vedic Kal, the earliest one, women were on the same footing. They were policy makers, they were decision makers, they were guiding force. We lost the way somewhere, we are regaining it fast. Even right now we have a system. Come on, don't cry, you are a boy. Be a man. अब ये बातें पुरानी हो गई, कहने वाले को डर लगने लग गया है. I am saying so only to buttress my point. Now, we cannot dream of a Viksit Bharat without women and without education. Women and education are the two wheels of the chariot that will drive the nation, its economy, its development journey, and fructify in Viksit Bharat 2047, if not earlier. Women and education taken together will massively contribute. एक तरीके से कहा जाए तो विकसित भारत का जो महान यज्ञ हो रहा है, इस यज्ञ में हर कोई अपनी आहुति दे रहा है, आगे चलकर दे रहा है, और हर भारतीय को, हर राष्ट्रवादी को देनी चाहिए आहुति, वो दे रहा है. Women and education की आहुति will be पूर्ण आहुति, and therefore the subject is all important. We cannot imagine a developed nation without education, without women participation. Now, at the moment, the scenario is, I don't want to go into the details of the development, the country has seen historic exponential development, economic upsurge unknown to us. We have world-class infrastructure. Our opportunity basket is increasing day by day. But I can tell you one thing, and global institutions, the IMF, the World Bank, the World Economic Forum, and all have spoken that India globally is the most happening place. Look around any country, we are the best in terms of opportunity and investment. That is the ecosystem. In this, how to secure greater participation of women. I'm happy to tell you, an epochal development has taken place. A historic development has taken place, and that is women reservation. In Lok Sabha and state legislatures, Constitution has now provided 1/3 reservation in Lok Sabha and state legislatures. This is minimum. It can go more. Women will not be handicapped in contesting on general seats. Now imagine a scene. More than 1/3 women in Lok Sabha. They will be part of policy making. They will be part of legislation making. They will be part of executive functions. They will be the driving force. This is development of the century. The nation tried for it for over 3 decades unsuccessfully. But last year, it was a great success. I had the good fortune, privilege, and honor to be in the chair when it was passed in the Council of States, the House of Elders, the Upper House, the Rajya Sabha. And the girls will be particularly joyous on that day, I ensured. In the chair, I was there. Deputy chairman was there. And rest of them were only women. Rajya Sabha that day was presided by women. I introduced a mechanism that in the panel of chairpersons of Rajya Sabha, minimum 50% will be women. I am practicing it. Those of you who watch Rajya Sabha would see I sit or someone else sits in the chair. There's a table, and then the members sit. That prominent table was earlier dominated by males. I have provided 50% reservation for women in that table. Quite often it is more, but never less than 50%. That means things are taking shape. I had the occasion to go to several universities. JNU, the Vice Chancellor is a woman. I went to Gujarat University, Vice Chancellor woman. I went to an IIT headed by a woman. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research headed by a very distinguished lady. When I went to ISRO, I met the rocket woman. Women participation is on the increase. This is indication that Bharat is in the right track. Bharat is on way to development track. Bharat is on way to becoming a developed nation. Those of you who have seen, and I'm sure you must have seen, 26 January 2024, Republic Day Parade, on Kartavya Path. Girls, it was dominated by you. The fighter jets were being flown by girls. Tanks were being handled by them. They were leading the parades. It was your day. On Kartavya Path, we had full display of the valor, talent of your gender. When I went to the NCC camp, what a delight it was. More than 40% are girls. I have no doubt in saying you are 50% of humanity, and in contribution your role is always more than 50%, because you are natural repository of sensitive behavior, sublime behavior, spiritual conduct, and full of warmth and empathy. And therefore, I have no doubt that the role of women and education in Viksit Bharat is all important. I am happy that institutions like yours are nurturing it in the right spirit. I will appeal to the Chancellor that they must have, the Institute must have a strong alumni group. If we look at global institutions, they thrive on alumni. Please persuade all your alumni to contribute in whatever manner, in whatever quantum they think appropriate. But they must contribute. They are the natural think tank to give your institution greater heights. That I am sure will be done. And girls, I'll make 3 appeals to you. First, never get nervous, because you are destined to make others nervous. Even when you are nervous, the other person is more nervous. Never be under tension or stress. And never fear failure. Fearing failure is inviting failure. Any failure is a step to success. Historically, great events have happened because either the person who fructified the event failed many times, or many before him failed many times so that he could do it. What is more important is that you urge to try, innovate, and take the first step. Always go for your aptitude and never stop learning. Let me remind you of a great saying of pre-Socrates era philosopher Heraclitus. He said, the only constant in life is change. And then he buttressed it by an instance that the same person cannot enter the same river twice, because neither the person is the same nor the river is the same. So you have to be always ready for change. But then you can't be in captivity of change. You have to be part of the change which you like, you deserve. Let me give you a small illustration. We are having another industrial revolution when it comes to technology. It is changing very fast. It is changing too fast for us to have our feet on the ground. A great challenge, also a great opportunity to keep on learning, be ahead of times. Knowledge has to be acquired. I am sometimes pained that we talk about our Vedas. I would especially persuade the Vice Chancellor to ensure that every student has a look at Vedas. The moment you read Vedas, you will come to know the rich legacy you have inherited, the kind of wisdom you will find there, knowledge you will find there. On every facet, from health to astronomy, from physics to chemistry, you will find everything. Focus on that. To be well informed is a necessary condition for a person to be a good person for the nation. Because first and last, you have to always keep your nation above every other interest. Sometimes the urge is too tempting to take a shortcut. We do it. Remember my words. In times of need, in times of distress, in times of absolute necessity, in times of survival-like situations, a shortcut is the longest cut. Never-ending road. So always be on the right path, the path of righteousness. Not only you should be on that path, you must exhibit a conduct worth emulation by others, that yes, I will be on the right path. A nation makes a difference by airports, which we have multiplied twice, 70 to 147, expressways, ports, buildings, digitization, internet, affordable housing, gas connections, everything. The quality of the human resource is important. A nation is known by the discipline of its citizens. This country had to start for Swachh Bharat because we did not believe in that. And now it is turning out to be very rewarding. So you have to be a role model for a citizen. You are thinking minds. Thanks to social media, each of you is virtually a journalist. Maintain very high ethical standards, commitment to the nation, and you must be distasteful of those who do not believe in the nation or our nationalism. I urge you not to observe silence when your vocal cords should be firing on all cylinders. If someone talks against the nation, does not have national interest at heart, then you have to remember, we are in Bharat. भारतीयता हमारी पहचान है. 5000 साल की संस्कृति की विरासत हमारे सामने है. दुनिया में कोई दूसरा देश ऐसा नहीं है. इसका सर्जन करना, इसका संरक्षण करना, इसको आगे बढ़ाना हमारा पहला धर्म है. चुनौतियां अनेक रूप से आ रही हैं, हर कहीं से आ रही हैं. I find all around, when Bharat is the most happening country in the world, having economic upsurge which is unprecedented, unrivaled by large economies, you see all around the transformation in rail, road, and all facets of governance. Some have converged to destabilize us, to derail us. They are attempting to derail your future. That attempt is to impede your growth, and therefore, being most vital stakeholders, you must step in. Well, I don't want to take more time. I would appeal to Dr. Ashok Gupta to be gracious enough to accept my invitation for visit of your girl students as my guests to the new building of Parliament in Delhi. I will receive you there if I'm in Delhi, and I will try to be in Delhi. I manage to keep my word to the extent possible, and I make things possible when it comes to girls. I have been going to several universities and colleges, but going to girls' college is my priority. Not that I engage in discrimination or favoritism, but I look at the right potential. I remember my visit to Miranda House. I said, Mirandians come to new building of Parliament. They did. So would you. Thank you so much.